In every real man, a child is hidden that wants to play. But what happens when that child is poisoned? When innocence is replaced by jealousy? Today we are analyzing the French classic L'Unfair or Torment. A story where love transforms into obsession and passion into hell. On the surface, L'Unfair is rather simple. Paul, a middle-aged man and owner of a small hotel, is deeply in love with his wife Nellie. After their wedding, their intimate life starts going downhill. Paul's suspicion creeps in. He watches Nellie very carefully. Every smile she gives to another man, every moment she spends away, becomes more and more unbearable. So what began as love slowly rots into jealousy. In his work on the Genealogy of Morality, Nietzsche reminds us, every sufferer instinctively looks for a cause of his suffering, more precisely, for a culprit. In Paul's case, the culprit isn't far away. Nellie, beautiful as she is, and behaving more than slightly coquettish, doesn't make it for Paul any easier. Soon Paul confronts Nellie and accuses her for being unfaithful. He transforms his insecurity, his fear of uncertainty, into obsession with control. His jealousy isn't born from her actions, but from his own wounded pride. For Nietzsche, this is not love, it's a fragile ego masquerading as passion. As Paul's suspicion deepens, reality itself begins to blur. Did Nellie really cheat? The genius of this movie lies in the way it plays with your emotions. First, it shows you everything from Paul's perspective, so you are rather sure that she is a cheater. Later, however, you can see through Nellie's lenses how her husband descends slowly into a full-fledged paranoia. First, you hate Nellie because she is a liar, later you pity her and wish for Paul's death because of what psycho he turned into. The whole movie is a magnificent play on the viewer's emotions. Here, Nietzsche's perspectivism offers us some clarity. There are no facts, only interpretations. The fact doesn't matter, whether Nellie is guilty or innocent. What truly matters is Paul's interpretation of what he saw. Once that interpretation takes a root, it consumes him. For Paul, jealousy becomes reality itself. His own perspective becomes a prison. Jealousy is one of the worst kinds of prison because it's self-perpetuated. It's a hole you dig yourself. Nellie may have provided the shovel or the incentive to start digging in the first place, but ultimately it was Paul who dug the proverbial abyss Nietzsche talks so often about. An abyss so deep that no outside light can enter it. And because no outside light can break in, one slowly forgets that he is in one. And therefore the abyss, the self-imposed jail of jealousy, becomes eternal and fatal. It becomes reality. Nietzsche did not believe in love as harmony. He saw it as a struggle of forces, as will to power. In Beyond Good and Evil, he writes, even the most spiritual love still wants possession of the soul. Love, for Nietzsche, is not two equal halves merging into one. It is one force striving to possess another. Paul's love is not giving, but seizing. It's not about trust, but domination. In Torment, this will to power collapses in on itself. His passion doesn't expand his strength, it turns against him. Remember Tyler's famous quote?
What? Things you own end up owning you.
Paul wanted to own Nellie completely, but in the end, it is jealousy that owns him. Nietzsche's most famous warning comes from Beyond Good and Evil. He who fights with monsters should see to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you. Paul definitely gazes too long into his own abyss, the abyss of suspicion, weakness, and fear.
Te laisse pas baratiner. Te laisse pas baratiner par cette pute.
His torment is not caused by Nelly, it is born within. His weak spirit cannot endure doubt, and so he experiences the torment of true madness. He demands certainty, and in failing to find it, he creates his own hell. L'Enfer is a Nietzschean tragedy, the story of a weak, resentful soul. Unable to transform suffering into strength, it collapses into madness. It shows us what happens when love is reduced to ownership, when interpretations become prisons, and when weakness cannot endure uncertainty. Yet the only thing that's certain is that there is nothing certain in life. Nietzsche feared precisely this collapse, when passion, instead of creating strength, devours itself. And so the film leaves us with a warning. If we cannot transform our torment into creation, it will consume us. Thank you for watching, and see you soon, fellow thinker.